which should hopefully be pretty good once that's done. Victory! Despite the challenges we face, we had succeeded in uniting our proud nation. Will now be known as the Kingdom of Spain. But at least I get to keep my very nice orange color here. Got 300 political power. Crush the opposition, or we can reconcile with the opposition. Of course we're going to crush them. I didn't fight a war just to do that. Tanks is 12 or so for the lot. I mean, there's a lot of stability bonuses up here, but we're already actually at 75% stability. We're definitely going to go rebuild the economy. Repair speed goes up a little bit. Nice bonus to research. The conversion costs, I don't really care about that too much. Mostly because I have never actually used it. We'll get the medium tank designer, so I'm committing myself to building those medium tanks. And then probably breakthrough, right? I'm gonna go for breakthrough or artillery. What's better? Would you go for the infantry manufacturer for the 5% breakthrough on the infantry equipment, or for the breakthrough on the artillery and the soft attack? Hard attack plus 10%. At some point, play our Sardinia. I'm not too sure when or if we'll ever play as Sardinia. Tomorrow, I can say, tomorrow we are starting up an Italian Republic playthrough. That's replacing the Union of Britain. Spanish Civil War is over. Yeah, so tomorrow we got Italian Republic playthrough starting. We're also going to the capital. Oh yeah, probably the historic capital, Madrid. Also, is anybody looking at what's happening in Austria right now? What's going to happen if Austria dies? And then when the second Weltkrieg begins, they're also having Germany's going to fight across this entire front. That's very interesting. But I think it's going to happen. Hello, the man who sold the world. How are you doing today? But Austria is fucked. They are not. I'm very interested to see how this actually plays out then. Because at the Reichspakt, is Poland in? Poland's not in a faction. It will make the war interesting. You are 100% correct on that. I mean, they have what? 6 months, 7 months before France usually does the focus. So I think that's definitely enough time for them to win the war. But I do think, I mean, it's going to create an interesting war for us as well. Negative 20% stability, okay. Now I understand why you might want all the stability events from this tree. Because we're going to go war with the Internationale, and them being stronger by owning the entirety of the Austro-Hungarian Empire is definitely going to make things different. Is France going to declare war? I don't know if the AI always seem to take Alsace Lorraine at almost the earliest time. But there's a chance that they don't declare war until they beat the Austrians. And if that happens, you know, we're looking at a very different Internationale in Second Weltkrieg if that's the case. Ignore all this naval stuff. I don't care about it. As soon as you're done, probably go for the next research slot first. Yeah, go for an extra research slot, then probably principal rebuilding. Go for probably civilian factories first, because that's going to get 6 civilian factories, which is pretty nice. And then go for some military investment. Any plans playing Monarchist Qing? Yes, at some point. I'm not too sure when that will be. If anybody's confused in either of my chats, I am streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So sometimes if I'm replying to somebody that you don't see in the chat, that's why. And if you prefer following on one of those, watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, you can switch over between them. It doesn't really matter to me too much. Oh yeah, we actually have manpower again. We'll add in, let's say 5 divisions of you guys for now. Got 10 more days until you're done. We'll then go for the medium tank. It's going to take 140 days. Which will be done around the time the war breaks out. So then we can start maybe pumping those guys out as well. And as soon as you're done researching, we'll definitely switch you over to being a little bit better. Fall of Moscow. So the Soviets are definitely losing. There's one thing you can say, the Soviets are not doing so hot. But now we've gotten this done, we can now upgrade you to be level 2. We can then immediately start researching our medium tanks that have the nice little upgrade here for a little bit more breakthrough and reliability. Yeah, because these guys here are going to be stuck. I don't know how many divisions they have in these 3 provinces, but they're dead. They've almost gotten us around in this province as well. Yeah, they're already like halfway capitulated. I mean, they've lost way less men than the Internationale, but I don't think that's really going to matter. I'm really surprised that they were even able to push their way through Switzerland. Yeah, I stream on 2 platforms at the same time, YouTube and Twitch. Oh, well, that's incredibly boring. Oh, wait, France owns this territory. That's it? Really? What did... Well... They're still in the faction. What's going to happen? Did anything happen? What is this? What is this absolute garbage? Oh yeah, Liberia has gone totalist. I didn't know they could do that before, but you know, it is what it is. Like, did they not even get Upper Savoy? I don't... It is a bugged event. I would, you know, I agree. Do I have a thing on? I am going to... At least Switzerland will go to France. The bugged event. And also Italy, I'll get to this. That's the most I'll do, because I think that at least makes some amount of sense. Austria can just be here, even though they basically, I think, are basically garbage now. If you don't like that I've done it, well, it's too late. I already have. So research slot available. 1939. If they should have won and taken all of it. The Italian bits of Austria. You know what? That also makes a lot of sense. That's a perfectly reasonable peace deal given a situation of the fact that they should have annexed all of it but didn't. We'll give you and you. There we go. I think that's reasonable. It's still giving the Internationale a lot of power. Like that, they're way stronger than they would be otherwise at this point in the game. Austria is probably still going to immediately intervene when the Blitzkrieg begins. Also, this is... There we go. Fix those borders. American Union saying that CSA has ended their hostilities. Oh, the American federal government's really made a pushback here. And the Social Republic of Italy's going to war into Sicily's. I mean, we have to be a little bit worried about that. Because they are going to be quite strong. The Austrian Empire, basically just garbage at this point. Oh, Qing's actually worth everybody now. How many men does France have? They have 70 to 150 divisions. You have probably about 40. Britain is doing pretty well, probably about 75 divisions themselves. Switzerland, I'm assuming, has 0. Yeah, just because they're a newly formed country. Everybody is going to war with the Qing. This is a very sad state of affairs for them at the current moment. What do we want to research after this? I mean, we probably want to get like a lot of tech. Actually, we probably want research speed. This one, computer machine, should have actually gone out already. To be fair, we are definitely going to see United Italy before the Weltkrieg begins. There's no doubt about that. The Ottomans don't know how they're necessarily going to swing. And with a weakened Austria, we might actually see the Serbians and Romania actually attack the Austrian Empire, which they almost like never do. The nation is recovering. Beautiful. 50 political power. Probably would like some stability instead. Also, my better general is probably recovered by this point. Let's go for entrenchment speed. We can modify our government once again. Do we have a good chief of army? We have a lot of choice. Attrition, defense. I always just like just flat attack bonuses on them and stacking those. If we're going to get some tanks, let's get plus 5% attack and then 10% breakthrough and speed on armor. In hindsight, maybe we should have gone for the mobile warfare doctrine, but it's too late for that now. Definitely not switching from this point on. The medium tanks, we got 78 days, so we can probably put those guys into production. How much troops do two Sicilies have? Somewhere between 4 and 25, which is really not a helpful measure in any capacity. Serbia, they're actually doing it. Serbia's declared war on the Austro-Hungarian Empire. What's happening? It is happening. Here is good for tanks. But you use a SPA. Got our mobile defense up. South attack organization, or we go for recovery rate for line artillery. Well, let's just focus, get the computing machine. We want that research speed as early as possible to make the most use out of it. Will Serbia be able to beat the Hungarians and the Austrians, or do you think they're going to lose this? I mean, they have a decent-sized army. I'm sure Austria is pretty worn down by the war with the Internationale. Only 100,000 manpower on service by requirement is pretty bad. It's definitely a weird campaign. I agree with that. I did not see this progressing the way it actually is. What the fuck is this game? Yeah. I mean, there's a chance that Austria will beat the Serbians, win the war, and then they'll be a little bit buffed up from that. Because we want Austria to at least be somewhat strong, because we still do need them to counterbalance against the Internationale once the Weltkrieg begins. Which might be happening in like 2 months. It's July 14th, and it takes 70 days. So, I mean, I guess it technically starts in August at its earliest. Yes, if the Ottomans lose, I'll fix these borders as well. The one nice thing about the state transfer tool is sometimes, the game doesn't produce the most aesthetic or realistic borders. The extra research slot is almost available. Really want those. I guess what 10 factories in total between these two focuses, which is really nice. I don't want to join the Entente right away. We're going to join the Entente after the Weltkrieg's begun. Because if I join before it's begun, I believe the commune will automatically put troops on our border, which I don't want to do. If we're technically a neutral nation and no faction, they'll probably do like what they're doing now and just completely ignore us. Kind of allows us to get like some sort of a surprise attack going. Got an extra research slot. Research speed plus 5% is nice. We're definitely going for provincial rebuilding. September 1939. I mean, it doesn't look like Serbia's losing, but Romania's doing pretty well. I mean, against the... in Hungary and the Carpathians, but... I don't know, we'll see. It would have still been interesting if these guys actually attacked during the Commune of France war. And how that would have maybe changed some things. It's also good for Construction 3. We've really got to rebuild our economy up before the war actually begins. We're not, you know, we have enough supplies for everything we're doing. Not worry about light tanks. I do want to put anti-tank divisions into our infantry divisions, though. Because how much is that boosted up by? Piercing goes up by over, like, what, 26.4 points? Defense goes up a little bit. Heart attack goes up a decent amount. It does drop organization a little bit, but really, I think it's just good. Support anti-tank. Fuck it, throw some recon companies in there as well. Probably means we need a decent amount of support equipment as well as anti-tank. It was actually 2.3 thousand rifles. I think we're fine cutting this down a little bit, but 2 here and 3 there. Doesn't even need a little bit of tungsten. Well, we can trade out with the United States though. Yeah, they have, it's been much more likely that Italy unites before the WWII actually begins. Except for the Italian Republic. Normally, the SRI takes over 2 Sicilies and the Pope before the WWII begins. Which is interesting, because that's, the trigger for Austria entering the war, when it begins. Like, when Italy unites these territories, Austria's allowed to intervene in the war. But because the AI takes over 2 Sicilies before the WWII normally even begins at all, they immediately intervene like every single time now. I mean, I think Serbia's gonna lose. But Serbia losing is, I still think makes Austria weaker. Because they have to fight this war at all. Oh, I saw the... transfer on. No, I do not want you on. Because, you know, losing 100,000 men is still pretty bad. Is Romania considered a major power here? They are. So even if Spain gives up, or Serbia gives up, Romania will still fight on. And I think that's going to take enough casualties from Austria again that it's still causing them to be more or less shit. I do think Austria is going to get stomped on again as soon as the second WWII begins. Because, you know, they don't have to fight this river and in these mountains. The area in Hearts of Iron 4 that I hate the most is this region right here. Fighting, like, in these plains in, Slovenia makes attacking into, like, Vienna or all this region significantly easier. What do I need aluminum for? I need it for the support equipment. And I think we do need to trade for that anyway, so we'll trade it for the United States as well. Definitely do not trade with the Commune of France. We don't trust them in any capacity. We got our medium tanks. Let's go for 1 level of excavation. And now I need somebody to tell me, what do I want this to look like? Well, I know I want these to all be medium tanks, not light tanks. Get them out of here. Do I want this? Do I want like only medium tanks, like in the whole row up to 40? Because that doesn't seem correct. What is the actual layout we want? I'm not too sure what it is. We got a 40 width of tank. This is taking 1,000 tanks. That's a lot. Infantry and tank. How many infantry do I want in this? Like half and half? Always could put an engineering company in there as well. Support artillery. Put everything in there, why not? So 7 medium, some truck boys, SPA and SPAA. Well, I don't think I have SPAA researched. So that's 5. Remove, remove, remove. Switch you to be motorized infantry. And motorized anti-tank. But what do we want this to be 40, right? Do I want to throw in motorized artillery in there or no? Wait, does this make sense? One roll for 5 or so SPA and SPAA and make the rest of them mediums. Okay, well... So like this, basically. Don't know how many we need to make this into be 40. Oh, you're artillery, right? Okay. Can I even get to be 40? Not under this certain layout. So remove you. Your capacity 3,000. It's gonna be very expensive to maintain this. Throw an engineering company. Throw in a recon company. Just leave it blank. Okay, 13 tanks, the rest infantry. Okay. Oh, anti-tank these guys. That actually makes probably a lot more sense. How much is the anti-tank gear? Is there 1 each? You know, we'll keep it like this. That's fine. It's fine. So let's train